Well, I agree that it needs to be a county. I mean, they need to have somebody needs to be representing them. You know, from the Canard area. If we have Mr.
You agree with what I said?
One time.
Oh, man.
He'll give you a little extra in a minute. I don't know nobody can get off.
I don't know. I guess you have to know whether they want to serve or not, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I'll say this, and since we just got this notice, and she's got to have it by a certain date, I think.
She sent this out to it, all of them.
Yeah, all municipalities.
Yeah.
It's a remaining 1-year term.
Yeah. Well, if she sent it out to all municipalities, then
We got to have this by January. We got to have it into her by January 22nd. I mean, let me say this: January 18th. If y'all want to nominate a council member, you know, I don't have a problem with that. It's a 1-year term that you be down there, and because you get a chance to look at the taxing documents, appraisal documents anyway. Because when you look at those blue folders and approve them.
Good job.
I don't know, I don't need another job.
I'd almost say that I don't have a nominee. Because, I mean, you need to talk to someone. You need to make sure they want to do it.
That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's good to put somebody on there, they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
We just
We don't have them anymore. So
I'm sure, here's what I want y'all to do though. I'm being proactive here. Since this is just a 1-year deal, I'm sure we'll be receiving another letter from her within a year. Y'all talk to people and think about somebody else in case the vacancy do come up that you want to put on there. This is, I mean, let me explain this, and all this goes in line with us making a decision. Whoever we put on this Houston County Appraisal District, it means a lot to us having someone from our municipality or the Grapeland area on it. JV is a good representative, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think, you know, JV is dealt with agriculture, you know, he was the director of agriculture for the state of Texas, plus JV owns a lot of property himself. So he's a good man for the position. But here's what I'm saying. Y'all think about somebody that's more of a municipality person. Think about, you know, someone you want to put on there to help the growth of your city, help get involved in, help push these economic development people. They can bring their figures up and say, well, you know, Crockett's getting this amount of tax money for their businesses. Why aren't we getting this tax money? So I'm just throwing some things out there. Okay? So, what are we going to do? We're going to make a motion that we'll pass.
We can table it and then
Yeah, but she gotta
put us back today.
You got to have an answer. You got to have an answer by the 18th. Y'all want to make a motion? You move that you rely on the appraisal district director to make the decision. Since there is no person available, no person, how can you put that? Since there is no one to be considered at this time, is there a motion? What do y'all want to tell me? We got to put it in our minutes.
I think a motion that we allow the person, what she think, you know, have how you want to state it. We don't have anything, do you?
No.
Is there a second?
No, second.
It's been both moved and second that we allow the appraisal district chief appraiser to select someone due to the fact there is no recommendation from the city of Grapeland at this time. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving right along. We're probably going to have to table F, because Mike had the figures, and the figures were 31,000 and 35,000 for a test well. But let's, since he don't have the bids here, And he got sick, and I think he got 2 kids that are sick. So flu has hit his house, and we got John's wife is sick, and we have a officer that's sick. Welch, 2 officers.
Wendell.
Wendell, right,
And
Wendell. So we got a pretty tough flu epidemic going on with our staff here. But I would recommend, now, I mean, this is up to the council. I gave you the figures. I think we had a bid of about 31. I think we had another bid of 35,000 for a test well. And the reason we're getting this test well is it would help us. It would save us in the cost of allowing the driller to drill a test well as to go down farther with the new well. And we have 222,000 available. Okay?
So,
Is there a motion? All right.
what do we have to,
We have to decide.
they're gonna drill a test well regardless.
Yes, we have to. And we gotta decide whether what contract we wanna accept. And we gotta decide whether we wanna pay that $30-something thousand to do a test well.
Yeah, I think we need to take that till you talk to them.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, until we make sure that we get, that they are going, I mean, I know we got it, but if they hadn't come up with it yet, make sure that,
Well, that makes good sense.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause you meeting with them Thursday, you said?
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
15th.
yeah, I think you're right, table
Is there a motion to table?
I make a
You
motion
did?
to take
it. I second it.
Both moved and second that we table item F in reference to our drilling test well, including the cost and payment. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Discuss Attorney General's legal opinion on demolition of properties with Building and Standards Commission. I know I gave Ms. Hollister a copy of that. It's and it should, did y'all get a copy? There's some, and I tell you what we do. Why don't you make them a copy of everybody a copy? What we're looking at, as you all know, before we had talked about demolition of old houses and properties. That you would go and you take have you gone through all the channels recommended by your Building and Standards Commission, and have you gone in through the law enforcement phase, and then you would take the documentation to the district attorney, and the district attorney would recommend it go to district court. These are some recommendations from the AG's office where basically it's giving you case law on these situations. I would say that in looking and reviewing, and y'all read it for yourself, that we would allow, and we probably want to make a motion to that effect, that we would allow all avenues to be expunged before we presented it to the district attorney. And what I'm doing is I'm clarifying us to keep us from getting in trouble. And as you know, if we send them, I mean, the last legal aspect of it is that you send them a notice, and if they don't respond in 30 days, then you have to go ahead to do that. But I want us to have something on record saying that we're going to, what did I just say? Exhaust all avenues before we present it to the district attorney. I mean, that includes talking to the owner. That includes seeing where we are legally on the enforcement phase of it, etc.